2026 Artists as Instigator Residency launch with Open Mic Eagle. Thank you all so much for being here, including those of you joining us all over the country and maybe even beyond on our live stream. I want to shout out Bam Studio and also Katie, our videographer, as well as Nick on the sound, and all the National Public Housing Museum staff for all the work to make tonight happen. Y'all give it up for everybody. And I am Tiff Beatty. I am the Associate Director and the Program Director here at the National Public Housing Museum. It just basically means I get to hang out with cool people like Mike, artists, but also everyday people who bring their stories, who help contribute to building the museum. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit about that, but mostly I want to give you all some background on what you're here for tonight. So we are the first and only cultural institution in the United States dedicated to telling the story of public housing. We've been around, that's why you hear me. We were incorporated in 2007, but we just opened our permanent location here in the Jane Addams Homes in this past April. And we are already making headlines and getting awards, and we are currently in the running to be the #1 best new museum in the country. There's gonna be a lot of celebrating tonight, so I can just keep the class coming. You all can actually help us be #1. So I just want to let you all know before you leave out of here, especially if you enjoy your experience, please vote. It's on usatoday.com, but you can also just scan the QR code that's in the lobby. So on your way out, if you haven't done that yet, please vote for us. And also, you can vote every day until December 22nd, which, I mean, set your alarm on your phone, maybe, like, you know, whatever you want to do, depending on how passionate you are. But I'm definitely voting daily to make sure we're #1. We're #2 right now, so it's really close. So, yeah, join us. Like tonight's event, all of our programs are free and open to the public, which of course would not be possible without generous donors and supporters and board members. So for those of you all in the room, thank you so much for everything you do. To those of you who are part of this history as current and former residents of public housing, we say welcome home. And to those who join us in this movement to preserve, promote, and propel the right of all people to a place to call home, welcome back. If you have not already joined as a member, that's another great way to support the museum. And then we also provide free memberships for all public housing residents. And you even get to go on one of the tours, which is a historic apartment tour, which is an immersive experience, which brings you back in time from the beginning of public housing in this building up through the 60s, where there was a lot of changes happening, 60s and 70s. So you really do go through a portal through time, and so it's a very immersive and it's a great experience. It's usually $25, but it's free with the membership. So I got to say that. Please check that out if you haven't done that. And of course, without further ado, I have to say welcome back and welcome home to Open Mic Eagle. You a little bit more, if that's okay with you while you're up here. So
while I'm standing here.
Yeah, you might blush a little bit, but yeah. So I'm gonna talk to Mike a little bit, ask him just a couple questions, and then we're gonna get to the performance, which I know there's a lot of Open Mic Eagle fans in the room, so I know that's why we're all here. But we also want to share about this project specifically, and just to help you all understand a little bit about what is this relationship that we're building over the next year and kind of what it might turn into, and also how y'all might get involved. So just to give y'all a little bit of background for those of you all who are new to Open Mic Eagle, Open Mic Eagle is known for weaving personal history, humor, and social commentary into work that feels intimate and expansive at once. After releasing Neighborhood Gods Unlimited earlier this year, he was praised as one of the pillars of the underground rap community by Stereo Gum and the king of heartfelt surrealist rap by the Washington Post. Of course, over the course of more than a dozen solo and collaborative projects, he's helped define and popularize the genre he calls art rap, a shorthand for left field and avant-garde rap music. His 2017 concept album, Brick Body Kids Still Daydream, is a tribute to the Robert Taylor Homes, a former public housing project in Chicago where members of his family lived before the high-rise complex was demolished as part of Chicago's plans for transformation, forcibly dislocating residents and dispersing communities. Some of you all may remember that our opening exhibition, Still Here, Linking Histories of Displacement, actually featured a listening station entirely dedicated to the album. Thanks to our chief curator, Lisa Lee, who made sure that that was an important inclusion, so that arts, culture, and all of these things come together not only through our programs, but also in our exhibitions. This particular record blends lived memory with surreal, dreamlike imagery to honor the creativity, resilience, and interior lives of public housing residents, while also naming the trauma and cultural loss that followed displacement. Open Mike Eagle was recently announced as the National Public Housing Museum's 7th Artist as Instigator. Wow. Just a little bit about our annual residency. It's a year-long residency through which we work with artists, activists, and cultural workers to develop new projects that leverage the power of arts and culture to make creative interventions around housing issues and related policies and organizing efforts. Eagle joins a distinguished roster of past artists as instigators, including Dr. Shadon Booby Battle. That's her footwork name, by the way, footwork. And Tanika Lewis Johnson, William Estrada, and many others who've received this award, which includes a $10,000 unrestricted honorarium, as well as a $10,000 project budget, thanks to the support of the Mellon Foundation, Joyce Foundation, Illinois Arts Alliance, and DCASE. As the National Public Housing Museum's 2026 Artist as Instigator in Residence, Open Mike Eagle will develop an audiovisual project tentatively called The Sound of a Brick Body Complex to honor and celebrate the unheralded generations of families that have lived in public housing communities that no longer exist. Give it up one more time. Here at the National Public how to format an interview like that. I watched a lot of your YouTubes and your interviews and things like that, and there's a lot of really good content out there covering your music career, your thoughts. You also stream constantly and
very available.
Talk directly to the people, so your thoughts are well documented, which I really appreciate. I'm just like catching up and consuming it all. It's like some of my favorite conversations that I've watched on YouTube in particular. YouTube is just, there's so much that it's helpful to have some people to follow, right? So definitely all the Culture United folks that you've talked to, there's just a great community around some of the conversations that are happening around the music in particular, but also just the culture. But we really focus here, and we do the big picture stuff, but also we're really interested in personal stories and narratives and family histories, and thinking about the sort of ordinary, everyday experiences that people have, and how that really opens up a world of understanding for people to be able to connect. So there's this John Berger quote that we say a lot, which is, this is attributed to him, that the shortest distance between two people is a story, right? So just really honoring that space and trying to develop a community that is not only putting people with a lot of talent on the in the position of being able to have a microphone, but also everybody has talent, but people who are recognized in the traditional way of having gifts. We believe we all have the gift of storytelling. It's innate to us as beings, and that we really focus on developing tools for people to share their stories and also to practice listening. That's something that we're not necessarily used to in this society, is practicing both sharing and also really listening to people. So we try to do that in as much of our work as we possibly can, and we also, again, create these tools for people. So we have a couple of tools that I've sort of got a little in my tool bag, and I've got some people in the room that maybe can help me out too, who have expertise in some of these, but I want to use some of these tools to have a conversation with you, if that's okay with you.
Oh,
okay. So we did talk about this before, so we're all experiencing this together, right? So the first tool that I want to bring to the conversation is called 36 Questions for Civic Love. And so it's a toolkit that we developed actually in 2020 at the National Public Housing Museum. And we worked with the dialogue expert. So we are part of an international network of sites of conscience. And we believe, all of the folks in this network believe that the power of place and memory is really important. So we have to understand what went wrong, what went right in history in order to solve today's problems. And so a lot of that is through dialogue. So we worked with the dialogue consultant that helped us develop this set of 36 questions, which if you're familiar with the New York Times has this 36 questions to fall in love. They actually developed that from an actual psychology study. A guy named Arthur Aaron in 1997 was testing if he could accelerate intimacy. He was thinking about romantic intimacy, obviously, in this situation where putting two people together, gave them these 36 questions that he developed. And his test was look into each other's eyes, go through these questions. By the end of these questions, you will have fallen in love. If you didn't fall in love, you weren't meant to be together. So it's a really quick way to skip all the dating and all that stuff. So in some ways, we're building a relationship, right? And that's what we do in community. Everything that we do is founded on relationships. That's really what strengthens the organizing, it's what allows us to do the work that we do. We call it the emotional heart of the work, or the love, right? So we see this in Black feminism, we see this in philosophy, we see this in a lot of different places. We bring it all together and apply it to, like I said, storytelling and conversation. So it's 36 questions. We're not gonna get to them all tonight, obviously, but I picked a few. And so I'm hoping that I can just ask you these questions and you just tell me whatever comes to mind. So this first question is, what do you keep in your cupboard that someone who raised you also kept in theirs?
That is a very good question. Me and my grandmother keep a very different kitchen. I think we both got a rolled up open bag of sugar that we've had too long.
I like that. Does a little piece of bread work for that? You use that?
A little piece of bread?
Yeah, in donuts, like the brown sugar. I don't know if this work for white sugar too. You put a little piece of bread in there and it keeps it soft, right? Yeah.
That sounds really scientific.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, I think I got that from my grandma. So something that's common. Yeah, the sugar at least. So what's one thing that makes wherever you've lived your home?
If I have my work up on display, then that's my home.
Say some more about that.
I mean, I've been making music and releasing it publicly since 2010. So the longer I live, the more I have the ability to exhibit what I've done. Like right now, that takes up like a decent part of the wall, right?
Yeah.
But with that, I would only do that where I live. So that's my home.
Okay, this is the last civic love one, and then we'll shift gears a little bit. Before I ask you the question that's in our toolkit, I have to ask you the Chicago question, which sometimes people just come straight out and ask you, like, did you grow up here? Or if they're trying to figure out where you're from, they might ask you, what high school did you go to? So that's the first part.
The first part.
And then, the second part is, tell me about the diversity of your high school.
Yeah, I grew up all over the South Side, right? The main intersections that I claim is 35th and Cottage, 79th and Stony, and then I stomped all around Hyde Park, all around here, a bunch of places. I went to Whitney M. Young Magnet High School. Dolphins, what up, Dolphins? And it was incredibly diverse. It was a magnet school, so it was lauded for its academia, but it still felt like kind of like a Black hood school. You know what I'm saying? It had all of the elements of my neighborhood was in this school. It was just a higher standard of education, and so different people was coming from all over the city to go to that school. So it was every kind of people, every kind of people.
Yeah, not too far from here.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So that transition is going to transition us a little bit into the sort of the next series of questions, which is really about life history and oral history. You're starting to get into a little bit. So we have an oral history program here at the National Public Housing Museum. It's another one of the tools that we empower folks and arm folks with the tool of oral history, which again is just learning, deep listening, storytelling, things that we just want to practice that make our society strong, but also allow people to preserve. And in this case, in our situation, we also have an archive, so they can preserve, archive, and then we help make sure that those stories are kept, and then they can also be used in projects, whether that's our podcast. We have an oral history podcast that you can check out wherever you get your podcast, but it's very focused on first person narratives and just really asking these kind of open questions that allow people to just tell stories. So plug to the oral history program, and shout out to Leo in the back and our oral historians in the room. Very important work, and it really does underpin everything that we do here at the museum. So every exhibit you go to, starting with the story, starting with just listening to people. So tell me about life when you were growing up. Tell me about the world you were born into.
Wow. Okay. I feel like what I want to focus on are like the main differences between how I remember that world and the world we live in now. Because the world that I grew up in, insularly, like within the family, it was just full of love and quality time and attention. But outside was incredibly dangerous all the time, like in a way that we were used to the sound of gunshots, used to police sirens, used to losing people to drugs, like in a very intense way. That, like, I noticed my son doesn't have to be used to that now. And, part of that is a difference in the location where it is, but I think a lot of it is the time. I think my experience of growing up where I grew up, I think underpinning all of it was like the crack era. And I saw, my grandparents reacting to that and trying to find ways to keep us safe, but also give us full lives. You saw teachers at school reacting to that sort of thing. It was very different for them, but for us it was what we were growing up in. So, along those lines, hip hop was something that felt like it was growing up right alongside me. It felt like a very new thing. It also, in a lot of ways, felt like a reflection of exactly what was going on outside. In some ways that were attractive, and personally for me, some ways that were kind of repulsive. Like, I didn't always want to hear the radio reinforcing or even glorifying what felt like was tearing my neighborhood up. So even within hip hop, I remember gravitating more towards like Tribe Called Quest, Native Tongues, De La Soul, and just stuff where it felt like people were towards something more positive or whimsical, or using their imaginations more, something that made you want to reach for something else. Because the stuff that was just, it was too close to what I was experiencing in my environment. I was like, I got enough of that. I got enough of that already. I mean, I could go on. I don't know. Like, what direction?
So I think I like the hip hop direction, but I'm also, I want to go to a little bit kind of what you're saying is like that, what you were feeling inside, kind of about what you were gravitating towards, and also what you were experiencing, and like just maybe was there more, I guess, around like, were your friends on that? Like, was your family on that? Did you feel like everybody was with you, or how was that like discovering, kind of like, because that can be hard when everything around you is like maybe reinforcing one perspective, and you're kind of like, I don't know if I identify. Like, what was that like?
So it was a trip, and it was a lot of layers to it. Like the first rap song I ever heard in my life, I got in the car with my mom. I couldn't have been older than 6 or 7 years old. And she's playing this song with this man with this squeaky voice talking about all this violent stuff he's gonna do. It was an Eazy-E album, and she was playing, and I'm like, are you supposed to be hearing this? I don't even know how to react. Like, it's my mom playing it, but it's like all these curse words that normally I'm not supposed to be hearing, and I'm like, I don't understand any of this, right? But like, so in my family, it's there. School kids, it was there. I remember like the bully kids at school one day was banging on the table doing the beat to NWA's Express Yourself. Like, I'll never forget that, because I was like, oh, that is the beat. And then listen to the song, oh, that's the same, oh, that's cool. So like, there were things about the sound that sounded interesting and fresh to me and attractive, but it was a lot of times it was the content of the songs that I didn't necessarily love, especially if it didn't seem like they was having no fun with it. That's why I did kind of like NWA, because as ignorant as some of it was, it sounded like they were having a great time. Some people it was too serious, it was too cold, and I was like, I didn't necessarily gravitate towards that. But it was, it did feel sort of isolating for me at some points, but a lot of it was informed by, like I said, crack era outside, it's dangerous outside. Lived with my grandparents primarily. They didn't want us going outside really. We had to like lobby them, me and my sister, like, please, pretty please, like one time this week, can we, you know what I'm saying? Like, go out, but it's understandable, right? Like, again, gunshots every day, like that was a normal thing. So I spent a lot of time inside. They gave us the gift of cable television, so I was, learning about the world, watching Nickelodeon and MTV and anything that looked funny or interesting, and a lot of my musical taste is informed by what the videos I was watching. So I'd be watching Rap City, but then I'd go watch Headbangers Ball or whatever. Like, I just wanted all of it. You know what I'm saying? But just music in general was attractive to me, but I just felt like there was this whole other world that I was eager to dive into too. And then listening to different radio stations, because you had GCI, mom's listening to V103, but then I go see what Q101 is doing, or WXRT, or like all these other stations. And then when I did really, really get into hip hop in high school, WHPK, that was the lifeline for the music that I still love to this day, was the college radio DJs that were doing the hip hop shows with WHPK, pulling the music from the East Coast to the Bay Area to LA, and that was it. Like, that really felt like the synthesis of everything I was looking for. The people who were doing the most, that to me it felt like the most creative rap music that wasn't trying to copy anything. Everybody was trying to go as far as they could, the styles, the subject matter, and what they were sampling, and all of that. It felt like that's when I finally hit the jackpot for the music I was looking for.
So I'm gonna jump around a little bit, because the next question that came to mind it's oral history, but I have a couple of questions just about like, you're talking about the music a lot, and I think like understanding a little bit how you think about rap as an art form, and I'm curious if like just with the term art rap, like does that feel redundant? Like, is rap and art the same art?
term that I used to use a lot in the 2010s when my career first started. And at that time, I felt like it was very important to try to make a distinction between like what I was trying to do. People like Serengeti was trying to do, Shabazz Palace, even like Danny Brown. Like there was this thing happening in 2010s where it felt like a new sort of independent rap movement was starting.
Probably the blog era or something.
I mean, the blog, yeah, it was the blog. It was, yeah, it coincided with that, but it felt like there was some artists on a different wavelength emerging through that era. And you know, the way I thought of mainstream rap at that time too was that it just felt incredibly stuck at that time. Like the only person doing anything that felt like it was moving things forward was like Kanye. And aside from that, it was just, it felt like a decade of everybody making the same music video in the richest mansion and in front of the Lamborghinis, and you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, that's cool, but there's this other thing happening. And I remember I was driving to Las Vegas for a homie of mine's wedding, and this was when I was living out in LA. And I was just thinking about all of the different genres of rock music. They get to have punk, they get to have bluegrass, and they, you know, and they get to have college rock or whatever, and like they get art rock. They get art rock. Nobody's tripping off of art rock. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh,
I didn't know those things, so that's good.
yeah.
That helps me understand.
Yeah, so it's like, I thought it was important to have a distinction like that in rap music. I'm thinking like, at that time, you know, people still bought a lot of their music at record stores. So it was like, I wanted you to be able to go into a bin and just like, there's different rock bins, then maybe there's different hip hop bins, right? And then there's one with, you know, this art rap stuff, this new stuff that's happening in that. I just thought it was important, especially on the consumer side, to let people know that like, there's somebody trying to do something else. You know, I feel like today, I think a distinction is still necessary, but I don't know if the art distinction is as important, because even on the mainstream now, there's a lot of art. There's a lot of people pushing, you know, there's people put out short films when they release, even if it's just a hood joint, like there's a lot of pushing of the boundaries. There's a lot of expansion in genre from the top all the way down to the bottom. So I think it's less important to point at the art part today, but I still think there's something with indie rap that I'm still looking for the right container for.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, that's important, like, yeah, as the language changes, as the art shift, it should continue to be a process of naming and then questioning and just, you know, trying things on, and, you know, I can't help but feel like, yeah, the world that we are living in today that has so much room for diversity of, you know, the genre of rap, like you're definitely a part of that, and like the folks that you, you know, are peers with. So just going back a little bit to the life history part, and this will lead us more into, you know, some of the stuff around the project. Just talk to me a little bit about your relationship with public housing, and specifically with Robert Taylor homes, and the time period. You're talking about, you know, that time period. But yeah, just what was that like? I guess also specifically like, yeah, we'll start there. I might do a follow up there.
So I was born in 1980, and it had to be one of the first places that I was brought when I was born was my great grandmother's apartment with Robert Taylor's. My great grandmother lived there. I was raised by my grandparents in Lake Meadows, but her sister and their children and my great grandmother all lived in the Robert Taylors, and we used to be over there all the time. We used to be over there for holidays. Some summers I would just spend over there. And this is like, you know, my conscious memory is of like, you know, 85 through like 90 or something like that. Yeah, and it was markedly more dangerous over there than it was a couple miles down the street in the building that my grandparents lived in. I remember we used to play a softball game called Piggy. Yeah. We used to play Piggy, which is a game you play when you don't have enough people. You know what I'm saying? This is a batter and some people catch it, and if you catch the ball, it's your turn to bat. Like, you know, we used to do that until the gunshots every time. Like, we'd be out there playing, somebody start shooting, and we'd have to run back in the building, and the elevator would never work, and you even when it did work, we didn't want to get in it because it literally smelled like urine every day. It was all of those tropes. Everything that they say about the projects, like I experienced that. Like remember going to people's apartments and the velvet paintings, you know, like all of that. Like it was that's really how it was. And just like I was saying earlier, it's like my memory of it was being surrounded by the love of a family, but just within the context of danger, all the time danger, it felt like.
Yeah, we have, I don't think she's in there, but we have a board member that when they talk about their experience growing up in public housing, it was like, you know, it was the good, it was the bad, it was the ugly. I think that's important to acknowledge all of that. Like, I think, you know, we hear so much about the stigma, so some people don't want to acknowledge that part of it, but we have to acknowledge that part. But also, not enough people have heard about stories of community and just, you know, that importance of having community and having neighbors in a certain location, a geographic area for generations, and developing a sense of cooperation and collaboration, where it's watching each other's kids or feeding each other or just sharing resources in a way that, you know, today obviously we have public housing looks a lot different. So we had the plan for transformation in the late 90s and early 2000s, which demolished all of the high-rise public housing here in Chicago, as well as other buildings as well that, like the one you're in right now. And so a very architecturally sound building, right? As you can see, like these are some of the original pillars. And so why did all those buildings need to get knocked down? Are questions that we're still asking 25 years later. So this is the 25th year anniversary of the plan for transformation. And so, you know, it's not something to celebrate. People lost homes, they lost community. It was a very traumatic experience, but it is worth acknowledging and really reflecting. So we had a program recently about the plan for transformation, specifically including storytelling, but also journalists, and just, you know, community activists and people just reflecting on this moment. So if you're not familiar with the plan for transformation, it has a lot to do with where we're at today, and we're going to continue to do programs. We have podcasts about it, specifically here in Chicago, but also it's connected to federal policy all across the country. We saw this same wave happening where there was a pullback, and it started much earlier. It's really in the Reagan times of just the disinvestment of the public in the public good, really what the government was doing, and, you know, the WPA. As you see these posters on the wall, they're really going back to a time where it was about the public good, so housing, jobs, how the government plays a role in that. So anyways, there's policy, there was money coming into play, so you see a lot of the privatization happening with the redevelopment, a lot of Section 8 vouchers and LIHTC or tax credit kind of, so when you see these terms, affordable housing, a lot of times that's a public-private partnership. So we're diving into all of that, right? The federal policies, the sort of money behind it, and all the things that go into it. And I'm hoping we can bring some of those topics into some of our conversations, and some of our public programming. So if you're interested in that history, please stay tuned. But I want to go back to kind of the moment where you were asking yourself, you know, had this experience growing up in Chicago, you left, and you, sounds like from what I have heard, that you were on a plane and you had a curiosity and you started doing some research, and tell me about that.
I believe I was flying to Chicago from LA. So I graduated high school in '98, and I went down to Southern Illinois University for undergrad, and then from there I went straight to Los Angeles. So it was a flight I was taking in 2016, and for some reason it occurred to me that, like, oh, I don't know what's going on in that area where, like, the area where my auntie's apartment was in this building. Like, I was like, damn, I feel like I've been on the south side in that area recently, but I'm like, well, how come I can't think about where the buildings are now? And I was on the airplane and got the Wi-Fi, and I'm looking, and I'm like, oh, like, not only did I find out on that flight that they had been demolished, I found out that there was nothing there. Like, I think that's what, like, pissed me off more than even finding out they were demolished, that it was like they weren't replaced with anything. So it's like you just getting rid of it just for the sake of. Like that felt like hurtful to me. Like, so you literally just thought about these buildings, these people's homes as like a blight that needed to be just gotten rid of. And the nothingness made me want to like holler, right? And I was, you know, in my music making at the time, I was like, I want to figure out a way to show reverence to this place that existed, that I was at, and my family was at, and now it's just gone and there's nothing there. Like, I wanted to make something that felt like the audio version of a mural for these people, you know? And so I reflected on my experience there and sort of was just in the world of that and wanted to speak to some of the issues around it too. And then that became the album Brick by the Kids Still Daydream.
Yes. I feel like almost everybody here just looking around is a fan, is familiar with that work, but make some noise if you're familiar with the Big Body Kids. Some of y'all a little too quiet, y'all need to go check that out right after this. But you're gonna get exposed to some of that. You're gonna find out. You're gonna find out. So before we get into that, just tell me a little bit, because you do so much with that album. Like, I mean, it's my favorite album, but I'm biased. Like, yeah, I guess I know a little bit, but I want maybe share with folks who are familiar or not familiar with that album, kind of like, where do you feel like you can go with this project, which is some ways building off that album, but it's something new, and it's in this moment in time that you're thinking about creating. Maybe just share a little bit about what you're thinking.
I mean, so, you know, I make rap music from my point of view, and even some of the more fantastical elements of the story I was painting in that album. It's just, it's more, it comes from a place of like a heightened version of my experience. Like, that's my part of the world, right? But I'm very interested in the psychological effects of the displacement specifically. Like, I learned a lot of things about the displacement that, like, I couldn't even figure out how to talk about it in the album because it was like, it's so gross. Like I found out something that there were like 10,000 people that were like unaccounted for after that. Like, so not only the chaos of just moving people who've been in this closed environment for decades to all different parts of the city, right? And then they wonder shortly after why there's a rise in violence in certain places. Like, no, there's a clear line to be drawn, right? Like, you took these, you know, these things, like I said, that you just thought were a blight, but as violent as some of these places were, it was within a closed system. And now you're putting these people all over the place, and people still rep whatever set they was repping before, and now they repping it on your block across the street from you. I think those dynamics led to a lot of chaos, and just thinking about just the losing of contact with some people altogether, and how like that's criminal to me. Like, it's already a weird thing with public housing where it's people in Washington or in Springfield writing legislation that causes the erection of a place for people to live, and then that same action, that far away removed action, can cause the place to be waste. Like, that's a wild thing to think about, how much power that is over somebody else's lives. And just because you can figure that, I don't know if you want the Olympic Games or something, and you want your city to look pretty, so you're like, let me make this decision, but the pain that causes is so real. Like, there's a video of one of the yellow buildings of the Robert Taylor homes just being demolished very slowly. Like, there's a video, and it's like long as hell, and then the person who uploaded it said, if you lived here, this could be traumatic, just as a warning, and it is. It is. It's like awful just to watch this machine tear this building apart, you know? And it's like, I wanna go deeper into that. Like, I wanna dig into some of those feelings. I wanna get some conversations, capture some conversations with more people who lived there, who were older than me, who had more fleshed out memories, who had a longer story arc there. Like, I want all of this stuff to be captured and put on display so we can get the full range of emotion, even of emotion and experiences from these real people who live in this real place that don't exist anymore. And that's the aim of what I'm trying to do.
Oh, I'm excited. Y'all excited? Questions all the time, but we have plenty of time. We're gonna keep talking. We're gonna do a lot more events, both conversations. But you know, we always gotta bring in the art, the music, the storytelling. So we're really looking forward to connecting. Maybe just one last thing, I guess, just a plug for if there are people in the room who have a particular experience or expertise, like, or that just like maybe would be interested, so we can help spread the word. Like kind of who are you interested in connecting with or engaging with this project?
I mean, I want to start with a list of people who live in the Robert Taylors and kind of go from there, but then just really anybody who has distinct memories of public housing, because I feel like so many of the stories are resonant, regardless of if you lived in Robert Taylors or Ida B. Wells, Stairway Gardens, or whatever it was. Like, you know, there's a bigger set of emotions and a bigger set of societal issues that I want to deal with. So it ain't got to be just the Robert Taylor. So I'm interested in talking to all sorts of people who have those experiences.
Okay, y'all hear that? So spread the word. We're just getting started. This is the launch. So we're gonna be working together for the next year and beyond. I'm just gonna put that out there because it's only enough to get started. So y'all give it up one more time. Open mic people.
Y'all give it up for Tip, please.
Music.
Yeah, I'm talking about this album and I got all this equipment in front of me, so I figured might as well play some tunes from Brick Body Kids Still Daydreaming if y'all are down with that. Yeah. I'll plug my laptop in. Yeah. You ready for me now? Check 1, 2.
Too dark.
Check 1. So I lost the mic up there. Check 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2. There we go. There we go. You can turn it down on the monitor, I think, a little bit. Y'all don't want no sexy trauma raps, is that right? This first song is about youth growing up in the Robert Taylors, but it's also about Juggernaut from the X-Men. No, that's the wrong one. Don't feel stuck to them chairs, man. Black Tom got style, African push. You got a brother named Charles who be go that bullshit. I protect the necklace of magical jewels. You can't let it go, take it from me. Yeah. In Cortez, cause I feel like faith in my fit got a head like the dome of a stadium. You think it's all good, but it's really degrading. Get it back it down, ladies in the clear Canadian. Yeah, you turn away from me, look at my eye hole. My brother got hard, but he running with psychos. He always got a gang with him, other disciples. They always trying to fight over I stay cool. I can't use no argument. I got my tools. I keep my head down, pushing like I'm walking in school. Yeah, I hold it tight like infinity gems. Policemen looking at me like I'm finna be him. No, my daddy was a hard man. My mother's a ghost. I keep my head covered, but my brother will roast. And they was coming off here. The thoughts tougher than jokes. I ran hard. My footprints covered the coast. And I was running through walls with some rougher than most. A nightcrawler to try to creep the smell suckers approach. He see him all charged to get what he provoked. The homie Tom got power, so I'm tugging his cloak. Big as hell, can't fit in my fit. My sleeves ripped, I'm a king, so my ring is legit. I bring shit to your front door, ringing your bell. My eyes glow in my hood like a demon from hell. My old self locked away, no key to the cell. They shoot spells in my head, it's up to me to repel. Ain't nothing gonna stop me now. Ain't nothing gonna stop me now. Ain't nothing gonna stop me. My big dumb brains in electrical ocean started walking down my legs in perpetual motion. Can't stop, and I'm not just boasting. I had to, cause home's overcome by roses. Yeah, I got spoke cause I wanted revenge. My brother Charles got hurt and he was playing pretend. Started walking right then, just being the winning asshole. But I hope I never see him again. I'm big as hell, can't figure my fit. My sleeves ripped, I'm a king, so my ring is legit. I bring shit to the front door, ringing your bell. My eyes glow in my hood like a demon from hell. My old self locked away, no key to the cell. They shoot spells in my head, it's up to me to rebel. Yeah. Ain't nothing gonna stop now. Ain't nothing gonna stop now. Nothing gonna stop me. That time got style. Everything bullshit. Got a brother named Charles. You know that bullshit. I protect my necklace, magical dreams. Ain't nothing y'all take it from me. 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 Noises are good. That's a good note. 1, 2, 1, 2. We was walking away, repeated all we can say. It started with the hug and it's a public display. Like a dozen a day, added we plugging away. Added I'm running away, cause the doors was closed and the devil was closed. So I'm never exposed when I'm hella morose. And I'm telling them nobody my skeleton shows. What this elephant knows and this pelican bones. Watch how I carry it home and the story it goes. There's a fork in the road and we got to the bar, but then the doors was closed and it never was closed even whenever it snowed. Every night it was there, either there or a show. Every answer was there, every question is no, never questioned before. So we guessing it's home. Everybody's secrets is by all my teams. I write all of my fantasies and I down all my dreams. My superpowers I maintain, I take control of my scene. Y'all can see what I can't say all of the scene. I was told some goofy shit that sounded like a poem. I spun around in circles on the floor. So who the hell could ever feel at home? I was told some goofy shit that sounded like a poem. I spun around in circles on the globe. So who the hell could ever feel at home? We live in a space that should have never existed. We used to the taste of a human in space. We grew in the room only if you could replace it. But doors was closed, I'm avoiding my nose. It smells like if you imagine you boiled a rose. And the oven is on and the coil's exposed. And we pull in the door like we should have before. And now we trying to deal with heat that we couldn't absorb. And the story it goes, there's a fork in the road. And we got to the bar, but then the doors was closed. And it never was closed, even whenever it snowed. Every night it was there, either there or a show. Every answer was there, every question is no, never questioned before. So we guessing it's home, so we guessing it's home, so we guessing it's home. Everybody can't say everybody's secrets is by all my teams. I write all of my fantasies and I die in all of my dreams. My superpowers I maintain, I take control of my scene. Y'all can see what I can't say all of the scene. I was told some goofy shit that sounded like a poem. I spun around in circles on the floor. So who the hell could ever feel at home? I was told some goofy shit that sounded like a poem. I spun around in circles on the floor. So who the hell could ever feel at home? Everybody's secrets inspire all of my sayings. I write all of my fantasies and I die in all of my dreams. My superpowers I my scene. Y'all can see what I can't say. I can't see all of the scene. I was cold. Some goofy shit that sounded like fun. I spun around in circles on the globe. So who the hell could ever feel at home? I was cold. Some goofy shit that sounded like fun. I spun around in circles on the globe. So who the hell could ever feel at home? Let you know you sound good. I just want to be that reassurance for you. You know what I'm saying? One, two. I gotta keep up the side, I gotta play it cool. Like for you with the girl and she can wait in school. I'm gonna get to that surface number. Never heard strong face, strong jaw shown to my competitor. I tear my ACL and wouldn't even limp. I keep my head up high so I can read the flips. Don't even scream if something hot burns my fingertips. I just wait a couple seconds, then I re-attempt. I had a weird childhood, my shit was wildhood, but crying ain't my style. Cause I can smile good. I don't take shit personal, I don't get jealous. You can leave my name off, you can misspell it. I ain't with yelling, I ain't even mad. I ain't screaming, catching feelings and breathing bad. Yeah, my favorite phrase is so when I'm stoned, cut it bad. Oh, no need to blow up. Yeah, it's the calm before the storm or something. Yeah, I ain't cried since '94 or something. Yeah, that's why I cried like yesterday. One, two. My legs high, cause I've been running things. That shit is exhausting, I'm in a ton of pain. But I'm no settling, I'm no settling, I'm no settling, I'm no settling. Trying to write fire, the pen full of flame. That shit burned my hand, I'm in a ton of pain. But I'm no settling, I'm no settling, I'm no settling, I'm no settling. It happened to brothers every year, bro. Then I wouldn't shed a tear, yeah. Still waters are running real deep. Airplane hit turbulence and I'm still asleep. Hit my knee on the bed quarter and run a sprint. And cried once for heaven for every summer since. For those of you that's doubting, I take it back far. I had a half attack during the last bar. My legs died cause I'm running things. That shit is exhausting, I'm in a ton of pain. But I'm no settling, I'm no settling, I'm no settling, I'm no settling. Trying to write fire, the pen full of flame. That shit burned my hand, I'm in a ton of pain. But I'm no settling, I'm no settling, I'm no settling, I'm no settling. You ain't coming and saying to no. It gets to me, I pretend it don't. You gotta keep a facade, you gotta play me cool. When you with a girl and she can wait in school, I'm gonna get the level service number, never heard. Strong face, strong jaw shown to my competitors. The thing picking the spot, what shit it could have been. The homie got that shit, fucking good as me. That part. Right there. Came out in 2017, which means I was writing it in 2016, which means you probably know what this next song is also about. Normal now, they said it's normal, it's normal, it's normal now, they said it's normal, it's normal now, they said it's normal, it's normal. Everybody get involved, it's holiday in the wasteland. Tripping y'all, it's holiday in the wasteland. When the king is in, please drop it. Fucked it up already. I haven't done this song in many years. day in the wasteland. I might wanna lay down and die. I put down on the darkest urges, keep a personal pound of high. I'm the king of my lonely island, on this island can't reach my house. I pull out all the problems, started sweet, decided right in my mouth. Everything has been dead and buried, ain't supposed to come back alive. Now we all in the zombie movie. Only weapon is common sense. Zombie sheriffs is trying to lynch us. Guess they call it the congressman. Everything with their celebration. Every circle on Halloween. Falling under your pile of garbage. Cancer out and says follow me. When the king is fake out of garbage, I ain't wanna lay down and die. Back down all the darkest urges. Keep my personal crown of high. One day without violence, can we get one day without fear? Can we get one day they don't try us? It's like one day the whole year. Can the people get one day without violence? Can we get one day without fear? Can we get one day they don't try us? Just like one day, everybody get involved. It's holiday in the wasteland. We're tripping out. It's holiday in the wasteland. They said it's normal. It's normal now. They said it's normal. It's normal. It's normal now. They said it's normal. It's normal now. They said it's normal. It's normal. It's normal now. I was protesting, I lost my sign, standing up cause they crossed my line, and I gathered both and they called my vibe. If it wasn't for y'all, I would've lost my mind. Both of us that I need that light, so we need that light. Powers down so we read my rights, no cops around, we can't read my rights. And the power's out, no electro now, and the synthesizers all retro now. First directives, protect your town, cause the garbage king, we don't respect your crown. Generated, we back online, no bullshit, we back on time. Fuck the castle, the flag don't fly, say fuck the king, to that asshole die. Fuck the king, no commando chief, Superman with Grand Brigade had no sleep, and I did a man that put his hands on me, and decided man that I stand on beat. Protesting, I lost my sign, standing up cause they crossed my line, and they gathered both and they called my vibe. If it wasn't for y'all, I would've lost my mind. One day without violence, one day without fear. Can we get one day they don't try us? Just like one day the whole year. Can we get one day without violence? Can we get one day with no fear? Can we get one day they don't try us? Just like one day the whole year. Everybody get involved. It's holiday in the wasteland. We're tripping out. It's holiday in the wasteland. Snow, but I'ma do whatever it takes to let go. Let's go to the projects, let's go to the moon. Shout to H-Rock and try to count my spoons. Shout to hip-hop as I read in high school. Y'all saved my life Thursday afternoons. That was at 55th over on the lakefront promontory. Yeah. This goes out to the ghetto children, solving problems in the projects around the world. 1, 2, 1, 2. Ghetto children, hacking networks in the projects around the world. 1, 2. Don't overlook it though, you gotta know what you're gonna know. Yeah, I'm good to go ahead, scrutinize. Put your gloves on and dig for a new surprise. Might be supersized, who's arguing muscles. Like the hustle, the book, the fighting's hustle. hustling, fighting stuff will stay sharp for the moment. I rhyme for survival, so the art is a bonus. I was sparked in emotion back when Carson was hosting, but everything is better when you don't know nothing. I'm grown, so I'm always disgusted, and all these discussions online is mayonnaise versus mustard. And mayonnaise people think French can't be trusted, and mustard people think eggs is all busted. But fuck it, we get it for the pattern interruptions. That's what we on tonight, yeah. Ghetto children solving problems in the projects around the world. 1, 2, 1, 2. Ghetto children making cold works in the projects around the world. Yeah, yeah. So don't be mad at me. Overthink things radically. Think tragedy. Prince Evelyn never gave up my 8 ball, cause it's never wrong. I sing whatever song I damn well please. Vintage 5Ds attempted by squeeze. My dispensary's closed and I'm meant to buy weeds. I'm salty at the airport, insecurity. Tragic is the story of the cookie face king with a long black trench on the roof like Sting, pointing back to my enemies. Let it be known. I pull up at the show, kicking every orange cone. I walk where I want, but I cry if I'm told. I don't really know where it's right to buy clothes. Unregulated labor made all that I own. Can I make an impact if I strike the right tone? We keep saying words into microphones and go. Ghetto children solving problems in the projects around the world. 1, 2, 1, 2. Ghetto children. I ain't done a bunch of gigs in a minute, but it feels very good to do them here.
Yeah.
The project we're doing is the sound of the Brick Body Complex. This song is called Brick Body Complex. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Don't call me nigga, a rapper. My motherfucking name is Michael Eagle. I'm sovereign. I'm from a line of ghetto superheroes. I holler. I got something to bring to your attention. Attention, 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 attention. I promise you, I will never fit in your descriptions. Giant, don't let nobody tell you nothing different. They lying. A giant in my body is a building, a building, a building, a building. No surfaces underground, ain't no sound, but I'm calling home in the city, broken my brothers down. Now I'm standing here all alone. Sun weather, my hollow bones and my monotone. David Bowie told me I'm not alone. Now I'm over here in these model homes. Still here, this hot or cold. Still hear my body move. Still standing on Cottage Grove. Still do what I gotta do. Stones happen on stones happen. I'm old fragments, I'm not a tool. Y'all can move this whole planet, I'll hold fast and I'll follow through. Midnight all day, do what they can talk, say. Don't get to horseplay, people speaking tongues. I'm called a nigga, a rapper. My motherfucking name is Michael Eagle. I'm sovereign. I'm from a line of ghetto superheroes. I holler. I got something to bring to your attention. Attention, 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 attention. I promise you, I will never fit in your descriptions. I'm giant. Don't let nobody tell you nothing different. They lying. A giant in my body is a building, a building, a building. Building, my other name is 3925. And make sure that my story's told. 6 stories high. Duck 55 years ago. Went to weather, yeah, here we go. And it's Chi-Town in my building code. And I stood here for 10 million snows. Wind chill is all in my bones. Indivisible, indivisible. Kids and criminals, young and old. No renegade in my dungeon code. And this thunder humming you something slow. 20 down and just want to go. But that city say they gon' knock me down. Still wearing my iron. Told y'all you won't stop me now. Nigga. Rapper, motherfucking name is Michael Eagle. Sovereign, from a line of ghetto superheroes. I holler, I got something to bring to your attention. Attention, 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 attention. I promise you, I will never fit in your descriptions. I'm giant, don't let nobody tell you nothing different. They lying, a giant in my body is a building, a building, a building. And they took me shelters, basement, hallway. Midnight all day, do what you don't say. play people speaking tongues. Mama's in the basement smoking something. We grew up in hazes, projects, dungeons, graduation lunches. Tried to make us something to see what we become. Nigga, rapper, my motherfucking name is Michael Eagle, sovereign. I'm from a line of ghettos, so be heroes. I holler, I got something to bring to your attention. Attention, 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 attention. I promise you, I will never fit in your descriptions. Giant, don't let nobody tell you nothing different. They lying. A giant in my body is a building, building, building. Sitting in the car all day, trying to find a radio. And we wrap both hands in tinfoil, pointed at the window frame, trying to find a radio. All up in my grandma's basement, sliding on the closet doors, trying to find a radio. And the homies said they heard a rap song, sounded like some folks they know, but we couldn't find a radio. Hobie, the trigger 14, below me, Shinobi. NBA life, I play with Kobe, the old me. Miss my old hoods, I miss my homies, it's lonely. Radio host, just like they know me, the ocean. Picked the seashell, that's how it floated. Was hoping to hear the airwaves, I think it's broken. I can still play it when the tape resurfaces. Kept the whole boom box for just these purposes. Heard a big show, had mine on it recently. People had a hard time finding the frequency. A piece of me show feels personal, circling on all sides, but use card commercials. It's worth it though, whole block listening. Except the kids, they so not interested. We implement newcomers, help growing looks, fit looks, copyrighted by Velcro. Whole sound change, don't nobody wanna tell those. This is my battle code, yeah. And we drove all through the neighborhood, sitting in the car all day, trying to find a radio. And we wrapped both hands in tinfoil, pointed at the window frame, trying to find a radio. All up in my grandma's basement, sliding all the closet doors, trying to find a radio. And the homies said I heard a rap song, sounded like some folks they know, but we couldn't find a radio. I always freestyle the second verse in the universe, I always kick some new shit. I can't help but do it, my brain's translucent. Anything I said, you knew it, cause I said it out loud. It's not in a strap. Sometimes I act nuts, sometimes I act like a mound. See, that's just it's like the opposite candy bar. My brain goes far like compared to Zanzibar. Quick though, I never tiptoe. They were shooting outside, Granny was like, get low. That's what she said every time at the radiator. But I'm not Ursa Major or the Dipper, yeah. I'm falling down like your head's old slippers, yeah. And now you're losing it. Dope pugilists, freestyling apologies if you ain't used to it. Cause it can go off the cliff pretty quickly. But that's how I do it. I'm not feeling sickly, except that I might, cause I was hot and now I'm really cold. Or the opposite, I don't really know. But yeah, in Chicago, that's how it goes. It's not a disco, but I can rip slow or fast. And that's not important to anything right now. There's no reason to talk about speed at all. Yeah. And we drove all through the neighborhood. And we wrapped both hands in tinfoil and pointed at the window frame, trying to find a radio. All up in my grandma's basement, sliding all the closet doors, trying to find a radio. And the homies said they heard a rap song, sounded like some folks they know, but we couldn't find a radio. But we couldn't find a radio. But we couldn't find a radio. guys for that. I'm gonna do one more thing. And I'm gonna do it because I told myself I was gonna do it. But the problem is, I don't really know the words, so I'm gonna have to cheat for this one. This is the song about my auntie's building being torn down. It's been many years since I did it because it's kind of a painful song to do. But what better time than now? The song is called My Auntie's Building. It's the last thing I'm gonna do. Thank you. They blew up my auntie's building, put out the great-grandchildren. But who else in America deserves to have that feeling? And where else in America will they blow up your village? Don't knock me down, don't knock me down, I beg you, I'm just chilling. I fight you all, I'm willing. Just show me who's that feeling. I don't see one, I don't see one, I can't find nobody. Chicago or Benghazi, a high-rise without no lobby. Run up stairwells like Rocky, cause these elevators so sloppy. Stop me now if I'm lying, but I don't need your buy-in. I heard 100 sirens, my intentions undivided. I was in there, she lived there, she raised a few of her kids there. No lobby, no swimming pool, no need buy, no swimwear. Got memories from in high chairs, I stay quiet like Ice Bear. They say America fights fair, but they won't demolish your timeshare. Blew up my auntie's building, put out the great-grandchildren. That building cost $10 million, now the empty lot not filled in. It was people there, and kids there, and drug dealers and church folk. And they hit that shit with a wrecking ball so hard thought the whole earth broke. All the people dispersed though, federal to commercial. The state demolished my circle, I guess everywhere's my turf though. That's the same with everybody living. That's the same with everybody living. That's the same with everybody living. That's the same with everybody living.
The biggest question is how many pictures can we take with open mic ego? But maybe there's like a group photo.
Oh, I love a fucking group photo.
Maybe anybody who wants to be in the group photo, stay here, come like to this wall, and then we're gonna do like a photographer like in the middle, and we're gonna do that. Does that work? We good? Okay, and then everybody else, and then after the group photo, we're gonna go to the nphm.org. That stands for National Public Housing Museum.org. And we're gonna scroll down, it's gonna say USA Today, and we're gonna vote to be number one. Early and often. Daily, or more if you have a VPN. All right, thank you all so much for coming tonight. Please come back and please stay for the photo. We're gonna do the photo right now at the front of the room. Please come get our photo. Take care, y'all. Get home safe.
Good for me to take this off.
On this wall for the photo. And Joe will get us all in.